Hello, my name is Charles Webster Baer, and today is January 16th, 2018, and I'm in Bend, Oregon, USA. And today I'd like to talk about gig. Gig is global internet government, and global internet government is my website, globalinternetgovernment.com, that I created in the year 2000. And gig is the foundation for a world government. And gig supports what the United Nations is doing, and gig supports what the International Monetary Fund is doing. And gig would like to assist the UN and the IMF and help expedite what they are doing. The UN is uniting the world politically with freedom and equality, and the IMF is uniting the world economically with transparency and balanced budget amendments. And so gig would like to be a social network and a media outlet that helps people participate and contribute to these various endeavors of uniting the world under one world government. Now, the UN and the IMF are two very important ingredients in gig. The third ingredient, or the most important ingredient to gig, is female reproductive rights. Gig feels that all females on Earth should have total and free access to all forms of birth control, this is because gig is interested in saving the environment. Because if we destroy the environment, then there won't be enough plants and trees to make oxygen for us to breathe, and then we'll suffocate. So with the human population going in the wrong direction, up to 8 billion and beyond, what we're actually on here as a species is a suicide course. Gig feels that the human population needs to go in the correct direction, which is down to a sustainable level where the environment will be allowed to heal and survive, and thus human beings will have enough oxygen to breathe and water to drink. In my opinion, a sustainable level of humans on Earth is around 2 or 3 billion, but that's a number that nobody really knows, and that's a number that future generations will determine. Now, in my personal opinion, an environmentalist is a human being that does not reproduce. And so gig supports everybody's right to be an environmentalist. This is, in my opinion, the correct choice to make. And that means that all governments, in order to be legitimate governments, must support all females' right to total and free access to all forms of birth control. All governments need to support female reproductive rights legally, financially, culturally, socially, etc. Now, Europe has united into the European Union as an economic community. with one currency, the euro. It is my opinion that America and Asia are ready to do the exact same thing. Therefore, GIG would like to turn North America, South America, Central America, and the Caribbean into one economic community with one common currency. GIG would also like to do this with Asia. If Russia would like to join Asia, that's fantastic. If Russia would like to join America, that's fantastic. If Australia and New Zealand would like to join Asia or America, that's great. India would be allowed to join Asia. Basically, we could create a Pacific nation, which would be the majority of the planet. Right. But in order for America to maintain its #1 position, it'll have to create one economic community out of North America, South America, Central America, and the Caribbean. If it does that, it'll maintain its #1 position. If it doesn't do that, it'll be passed by China and Europe and the EU. The big prize here is Russia. Yeah, that's the X factor. So that's what GIG is going to try to do. GIG is also going to try to, GIG's going to work with the IMF to try to accomplish that. And GIG is going to try to work with the United Nations to push its environmental agenda with equality and female reproductive rights. And GIG is going to try to push its economic agenda with the International Monetary Fund with transparency and balanced budget amendments. And so that's GIG. Now, if you support GIG, then you're a Giga. And many people do support GIG. If you support freedom of speech online and equality for all people, which means female reproductive rights, and transparency, then you support GIG. So you probably already support GIG and don't even know it, which makes you a Giga. So congratulations. And so that's GIG. There's a lot more details and specifics I could get into at this point, but I'm trying to keep this video relatively short, under 10 minutes. But please feel free to contact me. Please go to globalinternetgovernment.com. Please share this video on Facebook, and feel free to make your own video about your own feelings towards environmentalism and a world government, et cetera, et cetera. So thank you very much. Have a fantastic day, and peace and love.